Hello everybody and welcome back to Cinema Savvy. It is myself, George, bringing you a brand new review, and today we're going to be reviewing Asteroid City, which is now out in cinemas, of course, directed by Wes Anderson, starring an infinite amount of people in the cast, which I'll be talking about very shortly. But as we always do with these new reviews, please do comment below with your thoughts on Asteroid City. If you've seen the film already, your thoughts on Wes Anderson. If you're a fan of his films, you're looking forward to this, please do comment and get involved and let us know. And alongside that, if you want to find us on social media, so when we've got videos to announce, we tend to put them on there. You can do so with the links in the description. That's Twitter and Instagram at cinema_savvy, Facebook and letterboxd.com/cinemasavvy, with a link to Letterboxd and Redbubble also there. But I'm here to give my thoughts on Asteroid City, and it's going to be a bit of a weird one. And what I'm going to say actually as a precursor, there's a few new reviews happening this weekend. Indiana Jones is going to be coming out tomorrow, a spoiler-free one. Of course, Asteroid City now. I'm also going to be in London at the Asteroid City exhibition. There'll be some photos on our Instagram, no doubt, and across the socials. So if you are curious, if you've seen the film, it's at the one, I think Studio 180 is the name of it. You can find some more stuff tomorrow when we do post it. So I guess that's a good reason to get us on social media for a change. But now let's get into the film, and maybe actually let's get into Wes Anderson. So anyone that's followed this channel in the past, you'll know that it's a very mixed bag for me with Wes Anderson films. I've seen a few more since the last one. I saw Fantastic Mr. Fox the first time last month. I absolutely loved that film, absolutely adored it. Then I followed it up with The Royal Tenenbaums, which I really didn't like. If anyone's curious about previous ones I've seen, the Grand Budapest Hotel didn't work for me, but I really respect it and appreciate it as a film. It's just not one for me, and I know I'm in a massive minority, and I absolutely love The French Dispatch. And I've seen another one, which I've forgotten the name of, which is probably a bad sign for me, but Rushmore, and people love that one, so it's a mixed bag for me heading into this film. But what I will always say about a Wes Anderson film is you know what you're going to get. And not in the sense of Marvel, this is the same thing over and over and over. This is an auteur filmmaker, a term used so much over the top these days, but genuinely an auteur filmmaker. I know there's this horrible new TikTok trend apparently of people doing Wes Anderson stuff, which he's dismissed, which is great to see. But, you know, you're going to get incredible production design. You're going to get an ensemble cast. You're going to have actors, some of the best today working, some people might not be familiar with, some up-and-comers. They're going to be getting into these films to be working on a Wes Anderson film. He is a director that actors want to work with. His writing, the scripts, the story, as I said, the production values, the costumes. And there's a niche market for this, which people absolutely adore and love them. I'm not putting that into a side thing as a criticism at all, but it is a very, very passionate following from his fans. And within the industry, reputation as well, of course. You know, people wouldn't want to be in these films if they didn't enjoy his films. So that's what's always been more interesting. They've got older for me. Even though they're not to my taste, I'm still going to go and watch it because I appreciate the key word here. It's a filmmaker. We don't get that all too often. It's not a studio. It's not them saying, do this, do that. It's not littered cameos here, there, everywhere because we need you to do this. This is people want to be in his films. He's trying to get these people in the films. And it works in his favour. It works with films. Certainly their characters, you feel like they're written for actors. Now, whether people don't know that or whether they say that sort of thing, I don't know. But certainly when I go to a Wes Anderson film, that's how I feel heading into it. I know even if it doesn't work out for me, I can still appreciate the frame, what's happening, the cinematography, as the production design. And, I mean, Alexander Desplat is always on the score as well. It's a very interesting setup. And heading into Asteroid City, which, you know, people that aren't familiar with the story, essentially an alien comes to Earth in a city called Asteroid City, takes an asteroid, and it's about the reaction to that. I think I'm allowed to say that. I've not seen the trailers for this, so I don't know how much of that's given away, so apologies, but it's a Wes Anderson film. That's the best way you can market these, and that's the best way to do so. Even though Jeff Goldblum is credited right at the opening as the alien, I don't know if that was known already. That was incredible. One of the best casting things I've seen on an opening title credits, and I did laugh at that. I won't lie. And my thoughts on the film opening? I don't know. I think I like the film, but I don't know if I like the film. Now, I have seen this literally a few hours ago, so at the time this video going up, it's very fresh in my mind. It might take me a day or two to mull over to think about. Obviously, the exhibition is going to help tomorrow, but I'm in a very weird stance with this, and I don't want to sit here and use the too obvious term, it's a weird film. That's too easy. People will say stuff like that. For me, I'm just not quite sure, not what's going on. It's a play within a play, as primarily, which I'm curious to the concept of doing that. And again, the execution of a filmmaker being able to do that, there are very few that could do it in this style, in this way, and have it succeed, have it make sense, and have it work. That's one massive credit I can give the film. But the rest of it, I'm just not too sure about, and that's why sometimes doing these reviews fresh out aren't great, but also at the same time, maybe I'll be feeling like this for the days to come, for the weeks to come. And Asteroid City, I'm in a really strange spot with it because I found some parts of it funny. I found some parts of it not funny. Some parts I thought was weird. I don't mind weird in film. I like weird in film. Other parts I just felt like, have I seen this before? Have I seen this very recently? There's certainly moments where I kept going back to Nope from last year. I almost said Get Out then. A different Jordan Peele film. And that's what I was sort of curious by, that the sci-fi element is an Asteroid City. I like the whole 50s aesthetic, the 50s diner stuff. I always like that in films. I think Wes Anderson doing that era was actually quite exciting, and some of the really finite comedy moments come into that part of contextualizing where we are, with this one being set in the 50s, of course, with the height of the Cold War. There's so many other things happening, and even aside from that, there's some really, not funny to the sense, but when there's atom bombs coming off, I did sit there thinking, 1 month till Oppenheimer, Margot Robbie pops up, 1 month till Barbie, no Tom Cruise for this to get that going, or nor Harrison Ford for Indy next week. But it did make me think of other films watching this, whether that's a good thing, a bad thing, I do not know. And talking about the cast is equally as tricky because it's a Wes Anderson film, so you're going to have this insane ensemble, and I don't know really, there's not sort of certain story arcs that come into place. Jason Schwartzman is playing the lead in this. I think he's phenomenal in this film. I know he's worked with him for almost the entirety of his career, and that's kind of where I'm struggling. There are certain standouts from this film. No bad performances and anything like this, but when I'm going to pull my mind and go back to some of the actors, some of the characters I think about in this film, obviously Scarlett Johansson, she's great in this. Again, appropriate to the era. It's great to see her in more of this drama stuff. I know, obviously, aside from Marvel, she's done a lot of smaller films, but it's great, again, seeing these actors. Some of them, I think Tom Hanks working with Wes Anderson for the first time as well, who's absolutely fine playing Tom Hanks. But the one that really got me was Jeffrey Wright, who I think's amazing in this. I thought he was the best thing in The French Dispatch as well. I know he's been in a few Wes Anderson films now, and every time he's on screen, he's one of the best character actors working in the industry. And I know he's had leading roles in other stuff, and obviously a lot more blockbuster stuff. People think of Casino Royale, they think of James Bond, they think of the Batman from last year. He's an actor which I think works really well in these films. Liev Schreiber as well, I thought was great in this from the limited scenes we get with him. And it's really good to see them on screen. And what's great about this one is so many of the cast are interacting with other cast members. They have that natural chemistry that works. They've got the script that is working. And I think in turn with this working script, you also need everything else firing. And with a Wes Anderson film, I'm just going to obviously say the costumes are pretty much perfect. The production design is pretty much perfect. The cinematography is going to be perfect. The score is going to be absolutely fine as it is in this. It's not the best of his scores, but the alien stuff I thought was really good. The miniatures looked amazing. The integration with the actors also looked really good. So it's one of them where if you're looking at this film from a craft perspective, it's a struggle to fault it, bar the story. And the problem with the story is that I think it's going to, no pun intended, alienate a lot of people because it's a very niche thing. It's something we've all seen before. It's interesting seeing Wes Anderson's take on an alien type thing in his humour, in his comedy, in his story. But for me, there's something missing and I can't quite put my finger on it. I don't know what it is. And as I said, I've had a very weird experience watching this film because I think I like the film. And that's what's the weirdest thing about it. I don't really... I mean, the problem these days is that people are so black and white that they either say they love something or they hate something. They can't sit in the middle. I'm very curious to see how Wes Anderson's fans take to this one. The screening was really busy today. It was 5:30 on a Friday. It was packed. Now, there are less cinemas showing this at Cineworld, so I had to go to a different one to normal, which is frustrating when you can't go to your regular ones because they do the weird, we're showing it but we're not showing it type thing. So it's going to be interesting to see how this performs, how many cinemas are showing it. But it's one I think people will take to. If they're a fan of his films, it's going to be hard not to watch this film. And this is a much shorter review than normal, by the way. And this is kind of where I'm torn heading to final thoughts because my final thoughts just sort of aren't there at present. I don't think I need time to think on it. I don't know what to make of this film. I've seen a few of his recently, as I said. Some of them I absolutely loved, but this one, there's just something missing, and I've not seen all of his films. I've not seen most of his films. I'm probably seen about half by now. And am I in this minority? Does it just not work for me? Is there something that's working for everybody else and not me? That's what I want to know. That's what I'm curious for. And that kind of derails this review, giving the final thoughts now is I'm just not really sure what to make of it. And as I like to do, I like to end reviews on the recommendation for it. Would I tell you to go watch this at the cinema? I mean, there's some terrible films out at the moment. There's some amazing films out at the moment. If this is showing near you, if you appreciate cinema, if you appreciate filmmaking, then I would say go. just on the consensus of supporting cinemas, supporting the industry. And the technical craft involved is 100% some of the best we'll see this year. And I'm sure there'll be a couple of Oscar nominations littered around for that sort of stuff. But in terms of story engagement, is it worth going to the cinema for aside from that? Is it worth going to the cinema for that cinematic experience? Then the answer is no. Save your money for the big films coming out over the next month or so. And that's kind of where I'm at low with it, because I'll always encourage people to go to the cinemas. You don't have to go just to watch a big blockbuster. I don't like just watching blockbusters on the big screen. I will say it's a very weird time to release this. I know it premiered at Cannes. I know we've got the short film coming out later this year from the Roald Dahl book. So whether this film needed to come out now, I do not know. But I'm in a very weird state to recommend this. So my consensus is, if you're a Wes Anderson fan, you don't need this to be sold to you. If you're a fan of cinema, maybe it's worth pointing out. If you're a casual, if you're not too bothered, I hate saying it. We don't know what's going to change, but this is going to be on streaming service later on down the line. I know it's not Disney Plus. I know Universal distribute this film in the UK. No idea what will happen there, so I can't even really push that out there either. You know, French Dispatch we knew was going to go on to Disney as part of Searchlight, and a few of these other ones are all on Disney Plus. So if I'm being honest, I don't really know what to do. You've got to decide for yourself, because I'm undecided on this film. Will I watch it a second time? Probably not. I really doubt I'll see it again. But I am looking forward to Exhibition, because I do appreciate the art of filmmaking, which is what he absolutely delivers with. So that's going to round up this very weird, meandering review. I hope you like it. I hope you don't. And I do want to hear from you. If you have seen it, let me know your thoughts. Let me know if I'm in a minority. If I'm not, if you understand where I'm coming from, because the weirdest reviews are the ones that like this. As much as I criticise things being black and white earlier, it's so much easier just to love something or take something. But trying to actually get into the intricacies of it is tough. It's harder than it looks. So that's going to round this review. Thank you all for watching. As I said, what else is happening? We've got Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny spoiler-free review going up at the end of the weekend. Got Mission Impossible retrospective. We've got Rogue Nation coming out this Tuesday. Obviously, Fallout the week after. We've got some new releases. We're going to do an Indiana Jones spoiler discussion after it's come out. There's some big releases happening over the next month. Maybe there'll be some Christopher Nolan stuff as well. Who knows? But until we do, thank you all for watching, and be sure to join us on the next one. Take care.